So for our project, we did the history collector card things, but instead of doing like trading cards or something, we just did like old information cards. You will find them someplace. I know for a fact.
Like display boards?
Like display boards. So I had like a genius idea like last night, but I couldn't tell you, to like frame it, because there's people who will frame like old cards like this in their house. So yeah, I think that's cool personally. So
we kind of went overboard and did like 15 and almost went to about 20, but then we were just like, oh, we were only supposed to do 10, so go figure.
But so we'll just read a few. Go.
Okay, we'll just read our favorites. Charles Martel, he became mayor of the palace in 714 AD after his father died, and mayor of the palace is literally came to be when do-nothing kings came around, where the kings, they just sit around, literally do nothing but hunt, go to parties, all this other kind of stuff, and then the mayor of the palace literally take care of the army, the treasury, sign off documents, all this different stuff. They were literally just kings just by face, and they wouldn't do anything else. Pretty much grew fat on the throne. And so that's where mayor of the palaces came in. And then so he made an army of Franks, which was kind of in the area where Paris and France was, Franks and Germans, to fight the Saracens, which is like an old name for Muslims who were also called Mohammedans back then and had the religion Mohammedanism, which became Islam. So yeah. And then so he just like fought against them, and they battled in the city tours, and sorry if I said this wrong, Poitiers, I think. And so like they just battled it out there, and then they were actually losing until they killed the king Abdurrahman in the middle of a battle. So all of like his subjects like ran away and literally left all of the treasures and stuff that they had pilfered just there in the battlefield. So they were just like, yay, we get our stuff back. And they just took it. So he then, he actually wasn't called Martel till afterwards because of his courage and his bravery. And he's considered a great champion of Christianity. And he was part of the Carolingian dynasty, which is mostly about just the dynasty of most men that were named Charles and such.
Okay, well, we were talking about Charles Martel, so Charles Martel's grandson is Charles the Great, and so the Pope who crowned Charlemagne was Pope Leo III. And so he is known as Charlemagne's Pope, and when he was recently elected Pope, an angry mob attacked him, and they wanted to blind him and cut out his tongue, making him unfit for the position. And he escaped that, so they imprisoned him in a monastery because of it. And then he escaped that, and went to Charlemagne's retreat at Paderborn, and then on Christmas of 1800, he crowned Charlemagne as the Holy Roman Empire Emperor, and in 814, he began asserting his power more directly to influence, yes.
And then my second person is Pepin the Short. I love that name. I just love it. He's the son of Charles Martel and the father of Charlemagne. And he was born in the area where we have Belgium nowadays. And that was part of the kingdom of Austrasia. And so he became king of Franks after they once again had a do-nothing king. And then, of course, he did nothing. So they kind of shaved his head and threw him in a monastery and kind of left him there. So he became king of Franks, and then he was anointed by Pope Boniface and Pope Stephen III. And so they're both just like, yeah, let's make you the king, because the other one did nothing, literally. And so he became mayor of palace of all of Francia and Austrasia, because he had a brother who was going to inherit half of Francia. But then his brother liked the monastic life so much that he just went to a monastery and stayed there. So he kind of became king of all Franks, and that was just great. And he was given the titles Patrius Romanum from Pope Stephen III, and then Dux et Princeps Francorum from his great-grandfather. And I'm pretty sure Dux et Princeps Francorum, because I am 8% 6% fluent in French. I'm pretty sure that means the Prince of France. Yeah. And then Patrius Romanium is like the patron of something. Yeah.
Where'd you guys get your information from?
The book and then
Partly the book, and then partly these other two websites, Britannica, for one of the cards, only one, and then from Catholic Online, or Catholic Bible,
Okay.
technically, but
Any questions for them? Fabulous. Now you guys can stop the recording.